and welcome. My name is Brody Staff, the Student Council President of the Albany Academy. You may be seated. Please take a moment to silence your cell phones if you have not done so already. We will now begin the 212th commencement ceremony of Albany Academy. I would like to welcome Ms. Vaughn to the stage.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome. My name is Christine Vaughn, the Division Director of the Upper School. Please welcome our Head of School, Mr. Chris Loricella, to the lectern for opening remarks.
Thank you, Mrs. Vaughn, and good morning. Students, parents, faculty, trustees, alumni, alumnae, Mr. Austin, and honored guests. We're so happy to have you here for commencement. And most importantly, class of 2025, congratulations. You've made it, not that there was any doubt, and we're here to honor this incredible journey you've taken to reach this moment. And this journey wasn't just about academics, but also about embracing change and developing leadership skills. You faced challenges, built lifelong friendships, and been part of a community that encourages both intellectual and personal growth. These experiences will stay with you long after today. And today marks both the end of one chapter and the exciting beginning of another. As you move forward into this next chapter, I encourage you to stay grounded in the lessons you've learned here. Lessons about leadership, the power of community, and resilience. And speaking of resilience, we are so very proud of the way you've embraced change. This year, you have been part of something truly historic at Albany Academy, the first full academic year in a unified coeducational upper school. As the inaugural graduates of this new era, you have led by example. Your leadership, adaptability, and dedication to making this transition a success will echo in the years to come. And this transition may have seemed sudden to you, but in truth, it has been decades in the making. In 2007, Albany Academy for Girls and the Albany Academy merged, an event that not only marked a significant shift in our school's history, but also coincided with the year many of you were born, and the year our commencement speaker, Mr. Sean Austin, graduated. Change, however, does not come quickly at Academy. So here we are, 18 years later, walking across the stage, completing an organizational integration that reflects our school's ongoing commitment to growth and the future. This integration was a natural evolution, one that our history and values have long been preparing us for, and it is your class that has seen it through to completion. You are part of a two-century legacy of students who shaped the school into what it is today and set the stage for the next generation. You also have the unique distinction of being the bridge between the Academy's proud past and its bright future. This transformation, while significant, only strengthens the bonds that have always defined us as a community. Regardless of the form the school takes, we are all part of the same academic community, united by a shared commitment to excellence, growth, and the values that have always guided us: respect, responsibility, honesty, and compassion. Our commencement speaker, Mr. Sean Austin, class of 2007, is a proud member of this community. He once sat in the chapel, played on this field, and crossed this stage. Sean has since built a remarkable career in tech and entrepreneurship, founding several companies. His latest venture, Markets EQ, utilizes generative AI to analyze voice and text data, offering valuable insights into communication for business leaders. Sean's journey from Albany Academy to the forefront of innovation in AI is a testament to what Academy graduates can achieve when they graduate as curious, critical thinkers of high character. Before we hear from Sean, I would like to acknowledge some individuals who have been instrumental in getting us to this moment. First, a special thank you to our student leaders. At the beginning of the school year, you embraced the new structure of the upper school and committed to working together to be, quote, the best version of Albany Academy that you could be. Throughout the year, you have worked tirelessly to make this happen, and the results speak for themselves. Increased turnout at games, plays, and social events, and a noticeable increase in school spirit. We are so proud of your leadership and the positive impact you've had on our community. I also want to express my deepest gratitude to Christine Vaughn, our head of upper school, and her exceptional team. Christine is a fantastic connector, facilitator, and champion of all things upper school. She has worked tirelessly to guide us through this transformation, and on behalf of all of us, we are so grateful for your leadership and dedication to our students. Thank you, Christine. And it takes a village. So we also need to express our appreciation and affection for the faculty, staff, and administrators, both past and present, who have devoted countless hours to preparing you for this day. Today's ceremony would not be possible without your passionate commitment to our students and our mission. Thank you for all that you do each and every year to help us reach this moment. And there are a few other people here today closer to home who also deserve thanks and praise. So if you are a parent, a grandparent, a step-grandparent, host parent, or any other type of guardian to one of our graduates today, would you please raise your hand? Having your children attend and now graduate from the Albany Academy represents a decision you made to provide them with a lifelong gift of an outstanding education. Thank you for trusting us with these exceptional young men. Graduates, I know your appreciation for these individuals will continue to grow as you move forward. However, if you haven't already thanked them for all they've done, take a quiet moment today to express your gratitude. Today is a reflection of their love for you, and I encourage you to reciprocate this love back to them. Actually, class of 2025, let's start this now. Take a moment now to look at the friends and family you have under this tent. Break the fourth wall, make eye contact, smile, wave, pause, and just be for a moment. Take it all in. Go ahead, I'm happy to wait. Awesome. There are very few times in life when you know you're in a moment of transformation, and this is one of them. So I'm glad we took advantage of that. This is the last hour in which you'll all be together in one place. It's like the end of the first chapter of a long novel, and you're likely eager to turn the page and have your next adventure. But with each passing year, you may also find yourself yearning for those who knew you when you were in the act of becoming, bonded together by your shared academy experiences. When that happens, continue to invest in these relationships. Reach out to each other and stay in touch over the coming years to see how the rest of the story turns out. Better still, please return to campus from time to time to be together, keep your memories alive, and pass on your wisdom to the next generation. Finally, I'd like to thank the Board of Trustees for their support and leadership of our school. For those in attendance, I hope this next hour clarifies why you've chosen to support the Albany Academies with your time, your talent, and your treasure. And we sincerely appreciate all that you do. Thank you. And on behalf of the Board of Trustees, I am pleased to introduce the President of the Board, Dr. Eric Lewis. Dr. Lewis, yep, go ahead. Dr. Lewis is an alumnus of the class of 1983 and a proud past parent. When he's not volunteering considerable time as our exceptional board president, Dr. Lewis is a professor of practice, the director of the Master of Professional Studies in Management, and the director of the Master of Professional Studies in Accounting at Cornell University. Eric, please join us at the podium to say a few words.
Thanks, Chris. And for those who know me, you know it'll be more than a few words. But as I was thinking about this morning, I had a lot of help. I had a little bit of a boost at the closing chapel from one of yesterday's graduates, Sophie Lucas, who was relating some personal information about her transformation at Albany Academy and her initial coming to Albany Academy as a rather reluctant student. And as Sophie was telling us about that, I thought, hey, me too. I came to Academy from another school, from a public school, and quite reluctantly at the insistence of my parents and other family members. And I spent a good chunk of my first year here trying to make sure that I wouldn't have a second year. And it was an interesting conversation with a family member who expressed some disappointment in that and reminded me that there was a big investment being made in me because people saw potential that might go unrealized if I didn't have a different kind of experience from the one that I was having. And that was echoed in my first year when I was trying to do some mostly mischievous things. No one got hurt, to get the wrong kind of attention. And the then head of the cadet battalion, which is now the Cadet Corps, took me aside. He was also the Dean of Discipline and said, I know what you're trying to do, and I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that you don't succeed. Because, and he said this word again, because we're making an investment here. There are people investing in your future, and I don't want you to miss this opportunity. Toward the end of that year, it was my first experience with Robert Alcott. You may know Alcott House, that's the same Alcott family. He was my math teacher and my wrestling coach. And he would have the habit of imparting what he said was a notion. He would say, I just have a notion. Here's what you might do with your summer. And I realized after a couple of those cycles, I did come back for the second year and beyond, that he was paying attention to every single student who came through his classes, through his teams. He was also one of the football coaches. And he was tailoring an end-of-year suggestion. It was never an order, just here's what you might do with your summer. And that was his kind of investment. That continued with Bob Alcott through most of my adult life. He would send me things at the university saying, I know you're an economist. I'm not an economist, by the way, but he could never separate that from what I really do. And he would send me articles, things, and he would always say, just a notion. I had a notion about this. And it showed that continuing investment that we see in the young men that we're celebrating here today. So from the board, certainly a hearty congratulations to all of our graduates. As Chris said, this is a milestone. This is a time to take a breath, to understand how far we've come and where we are, and to recognize both the investments that are made in us and the investments that we're making in ourselves. And this is one of those unique times, and most of the graduates are about to enter the last time in their lives when all the people around them will be helping them to amplify their investments, to make additional investments in them. The Academy is one place where that happens, and this community will always do that for you. In the collegiate pursuits that you'll enter now, that's another environment where that will happen. But you need to know the uniqueness of that, because after that, when you go and begin a career, you'll have mentors and other people who will support you in certain ways. But it won't be quite the same. They won't have as their primary mission investing in you and making sure that you make the right investments in yourself. Another theme here, as I was thinking about this morning, was I've been reading a book called The Psychology of Money. Those of you who were here yesterday heard a little bit about this. This will be a shorter version of that, I promise. And I was doing that to prepare for a course that they've asked me to teach at Cornell in the graduate school, a mergers and acquisitions type course that's partly quantitative, but it also has these elements of emotion and decision making that are not the quantitative side, the valuation side, or the what type of merger is it side of that topic area. And so I started reading Morgan Housel's Psychology of Money as a reread to get me reacquainted with how we make financial decisions and give me some things to talk about in that class. And as I was rereading this book, it struck me that while the book is about money, it has themes that apply equally to the other kinds of investments that we make in ourselves. And so I thought I've brought a couple of quotes from Morgan Housel. I'd recommend this as good reading. He also wrote another book called Same as Ever, which is an add-on to that theme. And Housel describes how we think about money and how we interact with money in certain ways that talk about why we do certain things. One of his themes is that our behaviors will always trump our brilliance. And one of the things that we find in investing, as much as we want to be able to predict how the markets will go, what will happen to the economy, we're very bad at doing that, it turns out. And uncertainty foils us time and time again. And it turns out, though, if we behave the same way, as we're consistent with behaviors, we get the returns, we get the results that we want. And that's a theme in personal development as well. If we do small behavioral patterns, they will compound for us over time, just like compound interest. So if we decide, oh, I'm going to read a book, reading a single book probably won't change your life, unless you're very lucky you read just the right book. But reading consistently and applying the insights that you gain from that reading can really lead to meaningful change, and that kind of compounding effect that we see. Take a long time horizon. It's really hard, especially at a very young age, to think about a long time horizon. A long time horizon is the next couple of months, right? But meaningful change, meaningful investment happen over longer periods of time. Building self-awareness, mastering a craft, healing from some past wounds, they take years, not weeks or even months. One of the things that's very difficult when making important decisions is emotional mastery and emotional control. And a quote from Warren Buffett, who's been giving some interviews as he steps down from Berkshire Hathaway and hands the reins over, is he said he's always separated emotion from strategy. If you can separate emotion from the things that you're deciding to do, the big changes, stay centered, emotionally regulated, whether that's through mindfulness, coaching, reflection, it's like hedging against a sort of internal volatility that can sabotage our efforts at growth. And just as great investors do that, great leaders and great learners develop emotional mastery. Very, very hard. Another thing to remember is that your context shapes the ways in which you'll grow and the things that will be important to you. We all come from different backgrounds. We have different experiences, and we've seen different things succeed or fail. So what makes sense to one of us may not make that much sense to another because we don't have the context for it. People develop at different rates. What works for one person may not work for another person. Comparing yourself to someone else's timeline, someone else's maturity cycle can be both discouraging and counterproductive. Your culture, your beliefs, your life experiences will all shape how you grow. It's important to have compassion for yourself as well as compassion you might nurture for others, and focus on your own learning curve, not someone else's highlight reel. And that's really important for this group of students in this generation. So what do you get if you do all these things, if you invest in yourself, if you have these habits? One of the things that was, and this happens in our behavioral finance group at Cornell, we ask people, what is it that you want? What is it that you're trying to get out of the finances or out of your life? And people will give different sorts of answers. And it turns out it never boils down to money or things. And Morgan Housel points this out in The Psychology of Money, saying that the real dividend here is not a certain balance in your bank account or your portfolio, a mansion, a yacht. It's freedom. It's freedom to behave authentically. It's freedom to devote your time and your energy to the things that are really important to you. It's freedom to rid yourself of toxic relationships, to shed old narratives that don't work for you anymore, to stop seeking external validation, to shed the need for that external validation. This inner freedom allows you to live with intention, purpose, and peace. And those are three key things, because no monetary result is going to match the benefits of those three things. Two more ideas. One, avoid the illusion of control. Okay, we don't have control over most things. In investing, we do our best, we engage in certain habits, and then we hope that we get an outcome. Luck and randomness often play large roles in financial success. On the personal side, we can control our own behaviors and our own reactions, but even with our best intentions and our best efforts, sometimes our plans unravel. A relationship ends, a business opportunity or a job falls through, a setback disrupts our rhythm. And those periods of time are opportunities for us, because growth is going to depend on our ability to adapt without giving up, to learn from what we didn't expect, and to welcome and be open to surprises. When we stop demanding control, we start embracing curiosity. And that's a mindset that is essential for personal expansion. And finally, and today is a great day to celebrate this, knowing when you've won. Okay, so one of the stories in The Psychology of Money is a whole list of people who just keep pursuing money for its own sake, even when they don't need any more money. Another quote from Warren Buffett was, he said that money has no utility to me. Money doesn't have a specific utility on its own. It's a tool for other things. The same goes for personal growth. Right? You can become addicted to self-improvement, to chasing endless goals and hacks and certifications, thinking that growth is about adding something or fixing something. Growth is really about becoming something. It's about becoming yourself. And true growth involves knowing when to rest, when to integrate, and when to appreciate how far you've come. At some point, the most profound personal investment is not in more. It's in about being present, connected, and content. So whether you're growing wealth or growing as a person, the key ingredients are the same 5 things: discipline, patience, a little bit of emotional intelligence, context awareness, your own story, and a commitment to the long game. Play the long game. Investing in yourself, your mindset, your habits, your relationships, and your purpose is the most important and valuable portfolio that you will ever manage. And just like money, the earlier you start, the more consistently you invest, the more the returns will amaze you. Wherever your personal path takes you, this community looks forward to celebrating those returns with you. I wish you all good fortune and a very interesting journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lewis. It is my great pleasure to introduce today's commencement speaker, Sean Austin, class of 2007, a visionary leader in artificial intelligence and human-centered innovation. Sean currently serves as the CEO of Markets EQ at Humach, where he is transforming corporate communications through the power of voice AI. Markets EQ leverages cutting-edge biosignal and neuroscience research to analyze communication and reveal insights through tone of voice, offering professionals new tools to foster clarity, connection, and truth in their interactions. A serial entrepreneur, Sean has consistently been at the forefront of audio and behavioral intelligence. He founded Helios, where he pioneered audio intelligence solutions for global hedge funds, and served as Chief Product Officer at Apti Health, helping to revolutionize behavioral telehealth. His work has impacted companies such as Spotify, Klarna, and many others, always driven by a mission to build technology that strengthens human connection rather than replaces it. Beyond his professional accomplishments, Sean is deeply committed to mentorship and community. He advises emerging startups and generously volunteers his time as a youth basketball coach, bringing both his brilliance and heart to uplift those around him. Please join me in welcoming this remarkable innovator and leader, Sean Austin, class of 2007.
Distinguished faculty, proud parents, esteemed guests, and most importantly, Albany Academy class of 2025. Standing here today, I'm hit with a strange feeling of sin, because 18 years ago I was you. Same face, same June, heat or rain, same feeling. I bet you took one last look at the senior lounge this morning, didn't you? Maybe walked around the chapel a little slower, letting your footsteps echo one more time. We all did it, and I hope you did it too. I was class of 2007, thinking I had it all figured out. I was going to RPI in the fall, one last summer with my boys, and absolutely no clue what came after that. Between prom, May project, and graduation parties, I was too busy living in the moment to worry about the future, which, looking back, I think was exactly right. I learned this lesson early, actually. Coach Galucci, our 2006 football team, we made it all the way to the Carrier Dome. We had an undefeated season, and we were at the state championship game, but we lost. Sitting here now, or standing here, 18 years later, that loss taught me something crucial. The journey matters more than the destination. We weren't supposed to make it that far, but we refused to accept that story. And that refusal, that's what you're going to need out there. So, here's the thing about giving advice to graduates. Most commencement speakers will tell you the world is your oyster, that you can do anything you want. They'll quote Steve Jobs about connecting the dots, or maybe Elon Musk going to Mars, or some previous graduate success many generations ago. They'll tell you to follow your dreams, and honestly, they're definitely not wrong. But they're also not telling you the whole truth. The truth is way messier. The world you're inheriting isn't the one I graduated into, and it's definitely not the one your parents navigated. That old playbook, pick a major, get a job, climb the ladder, retire with a gold watch, that script is obsolete. The ladder doesn't even go to the same place anymore. Half the time there isn't even a ladder, and you'll find out that it says the latest survey of graduates shows you'll change your careers several times before you hit my age, and that's a career, not a job. So here's what you do have though. You have tools we couldn't even imagine. You can learn quantum physics from an MIT professor on TikTok. You can start a global business from your dorm room with an AI co-pilot. You can design and collaborate with someone virtually in Tokyo while eating breakfast down the street in Troy. The barriers that defined previous generations, they're gone, which is thrilling and a little terrifying. And let me tell you what nobody told me at graduation. You're going to screw up a lot. And that's not just okay, it's essential. After Albany Academy, I thought I had all the answers. So when I started biomedical engineering my freshman year, I realized I hated biomedical engineering. I felt like a failure. But guess what? I found out a love for technology. When I moved to Sweden, which is a very long story, after leaving Spotify, I discovered I was terrible at Swedish, and I loved being in the US. So I quickly booked my flight home. But every wrong turn taught me something crucial about who I was, and more importantly, who I was not. And the biggest mistake you can make isn't failing, it's being too scared to try anything that might result in failure. Your 20s are basically a decade-long experiment, so treat them that way. Take the weird job, start the project that makes your parents a little nervous, move to the city that scares you, apply for things you're not qualified for, and the worst thing that'll happen, you'll learn something. I know Albany Academy has trained you to excel and to be the best. That drive will serve you well, but perfectionism, that will hold you back. The most successful people I've ever met in my life aren't the ones who never failed, they're the ones who failed fast, learned faster, and kept moving. So it brings me to passion. Everyone will tell you you're gonna find passion like it's hiding under a rock somewhere. Like one day you'll wake up and boom, there it is. That's not how that works. Passion isn't discovered, it's developed. It grows from curiosity, from your engagement, from a slow realization that you care about something more than you care about looking cool or playing it safe. Sometimes passion whispers. It's a problem you can't stop thinking about in the shower. It's a Wikipedia hole you go down at 2 a.m. in the morning. It's a conversation that makes you lose track of time. I'll tell you to pay attention to those moments because they're telling you something important. So confession time. I used ChatGPT to help write this speech because I work in AI and it's also 2025. But its suggestion was open with, congratulations, you've officially graduated from homework to work. So we've built these AIs that can pass the bar exam and all these very, very crazy things, but it writes jokes like a dad trying to be cool. So meanwhile, your imperfect human brains, the ones that maybe procrastinated a little bit this senior year, my money's still in that one. So look, I could stand here and paint a picture of wonderful endless possibilities and boundless potential, and it wouldn't be wrong, but I really want you to know this. The open road ahead of you is not a burden, it's a gift. The fact that there's no clear path, that's not a bug, it's a feature. You get to make your own map. But you don't have to make it alone. This network, Albany Academy alumni, your teachers, your classmates, we're all rooting for you. We're here when you need us, and trust me, you will need us. Success isn't a solo sport. Class of 2025, you're walking out of here better prepared than you know. You've got the education, the discipline, and most importantly, the Albany Academy stubborn refusal to accept good enough. Use it, challenge the status quo, build something, break something productively, make mistakes that matter. The world doesn't need another generation playing it safe. It needs your energy, your fresh perspective, your refusal to accept that this is just how things are. It needs you to be unreasonable in your ambitions and relentless in your pursuit of them. So go, make your mark, not because you have to, but because you can. Not because it's expected, but because something inside of you demands it. And when you do, when you build that company, write that novel, solve that problem, change that system, remember us. Remember this place. Remember it all started here in this moment when you decided to stop waiting for permission and start creating your own path. So congratulations, class of 2025. Now get out there and show us what you got. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. That was so inspirational. Our salutatorian, Charles Hsu, has continually impressed us not only with his extraordinary intellect, but with his strength of character. A cum laude inductee, recipient of the Science Award, and this year's Peter Gansbrut English Essay Award, Charles is a highly intellectual thinker whose curiosity and insight spans across disciplines. He has pursued a rigorous academic path in math and science while simultaneously demonstrating an exceptional command of language and ideas through his writing. Beyond the classroom, Charles leads with humility and quiet determination. As a captain on both the soccer field and the robotics team, he balances high achievement with deep extracurricular involvement, earning the trust and admiration of his peers and coaches alike. Yet, it is not simply his accomplishments that define him. It is his unwavering integrity, his thoughtful nature, and his steadfast commitment to doing the right thing, even when no one is watching. A steady presence, a trusted teammate, and a student who brings out the best in those around him. Charles has left an indelible mark on our community. It is my great pleasure to welcome Charles Shu to the lectern.
What is a hero? We usually think of someone with a sword, a shield, or maybe a cape. But a hero is much more than just strength or spectacle. A hero must be selfless, like King Leonidas, who led 300 Spartans to their certain deaths against an overwhelming Persian army to buy time for the rest of the Greeks to prepare. A hero must persevere, like Odysseus, who spent 10 years battling monsters, storms, and temptations, just to return home to his wife and to his kingdom. And a hero must care deeply for others, like Siddhartha Gautama, who gave up a life of royalty and comfort to understand and relieve the suffering of the world. But heroes don't just live in myths. Real heroes walk among us every day. We've seen them here, in our classrooms, in our hallways, and on the field. A group that is quietly and often without recognition taken on the role of heroes, our teachers. A hero must be selfless, like Mr. Koth. Despite being a dean, teacher, and parent of 3 young children, he still found time to coach the soccer team. On days with night games, he'd arrive at 7 a.m. and not get home until 10:30 at night. He sacrificed time with his own kids to build something meaningful here at Academy. A hero must persevere, like Dr. Denham. Despite having no experience with Java, she was tasked with teaching the first ever AP Computer Science A course offered at Academy. Every night, she taught herself the material, then came in ready the next day to explain it clearly to us. On many nights, she stayed up until 1 a.m., writing and testing one of the 28 labs she created for that course. In her quiet determination, we saw the perseverance that defines a hero. And finally, a hero must be compassionate like Mr. McNally. Though he jokes that it's a burden, he always shows up for the robotics team when it matters. This year alone, he spent 262 hours with us, including an overnight stay at a hotel and many mornings as early as 5 a.m. When I asked why he did all this, despite getting paid for robotics, what amounts to 4 chicken nuggets and a rubber band, he replied, "Because I know what it means to you all." Like so many teachers, he doesn't do it for the reward. He does it because he cares. These are just a few examples, cherry-picked from countless acts of selflessness our teachers perform daily. I'm certain that every graduate here has their own story, their own moment of quiet support, extra effort, or unexpected encouragement. Because those are the kinds of teachers we have here at Academy. So today, while we celebrate ourselves and all that we've achieved, let's not forget the people who got us here and believed in us, the ones who stayed late, showed up early, and believed in us when we didn't believe in ourselves. We walk across this stage today because they stood behind us. And as we move forward into the next chapter of our lives, may we remember those who quietly sacrificed to get us where we are today. Thank you.
Thank you, Charles. It's beautiful. Over the past 4 years, the class of 2025 has shown us what it truly means to lead with purpose, ride with courage, and give with heart. In every corner of our school, through academic excellence, athletic triumphs, artistic expression, and acts of service, they have left a legacy rooted in passion, perseverance, and principle. At last week's closing chapel, we honored many of their accomplishments, each a testament to the countless hours of effort, growth, and quiet determination. You'll find those recognitions listed in your program, a small glimpse into the spirit and dedication that defines this class. Today, we gather for one final moment of recognition awards that celebrate not just success, but the character, courage, and kindness these students have brought to our community. These honors reflect the legacy they leave behind and the limitless promise of the paths that lie ahead. To begin this celebration, it is my pleasure to welcome to the podium our athletic director, Mr. Paul Gallucci, to present the athletic awards. Mr. Gallucci.
Good morning. The Gould Sportsmanship Cup, established by John C. Gould, class of 1903, in honor of his father, Charles Barton Gould, class of 1874, who devoted nearly 6 decades to teaching at the Academy with passion and excellence. This award is given annually to that student in the upper forms who, in the eyes of the faculty, most fully embodies the highest ideals of sportsmanship. This year's recipient needs no introduction. You can spot his smile from a mile away. A true scholar athlete, he plays with heart, humility, and an infectious spirit that lifts everyone around him. Whether on the court or winning poetry out loud, he gives it his all, with joy, purpose, and with deep love for his teammates and community. It is with great pride that we award the Gould Sportsmanship Cup to Aluma Michael Anjingdalu, as we all know him, Femi. The Alfred K. Sabish Award is presented annually by the Albany Academy Alumni Association in honor of a man whose legacy shaped generations of athletes. Mr. Sabish served the Academy with distinction from 1931 to 1971, including as the Director of Athletics from 1957. In his own words, this award is meant to honor a senior who has participated in athletics for at least 3 years, and whether a star player or not, has embodied the essence of team spirit through sportsmanship, cooperation, leadership, and all above effort. This year, we are proud to honor 2 seniors who represent all this is. Our first recipient is a quiet, steady force, humble in demeanor, but powerful in presence. He leads not through volume, but through consistency, integrity, unwavering commitment to his teams. Whether on the field as a captain in football or on the ice in the net, he carries himself with grace and determination. A cum laude inductee, a true scholar athlete, and role model. Please join me in congratulating Gavin John Rothwell. Our second recipient brings warmth, drive, and deeply rooted sense of service to everything he does. His commitment to his teams and extracurricular life knows no bounds. He's a cum laude inductee, captain of both football and lacrosse. He's thoughtful and inclusive leader, always putting the group before himself. His teammates look up to him not just for his athletic ability, but for his kindness, humility, and courage. Please join me in congratulating Aaron Samuel Brzezinski. The varsity club proudly represents each year the Irving F. Albright Class of 1960 Award to a sixth form student who has contributed the most to athletics over at least 3 years. Named in memory of Irving Albright, this award honors a legacy of dedication, resilience, and team spirit, values that define the very best of our athletic tradition. This year's recipient embodies all of those qualities and more. A cum laude inductee, a true student athlete. He plays with the passion and intensity that brings him to the classroom. On both the football and lacrosse teams as a captain, he sets the tone, not just through his performance, but through his work ethic, humility, and unshakable commitment to those around him. He makes his teammates so much better, not just by how he plays, but how he leads. Please join me in congratulating Yogi Yana Olman. Colonial Council Athletic Directors Award is given to a Form 6 student whose action best reflect the values we hold highest in the school athletics performance. Positive determination, relentless effort, and true cooperation. Chosen by the Director of Athletics and presented on behalf of the Colonial Council Athletic Directors, this award honors a student who embodies spirit, academic excellence, and unwavering sportsmanship. This year's recipient leads with heart and purpose, lifting others through his athletic ability, drive, and commitment to doing the right way. Whether in the classroom or on the court as a captain, or in the broader school community, he is a model of what it means to be complete and integrity and lead to the first approach. As the Times Union Basketball Athlete of the Year, his exceptional skill has inspired all of us. Please join me in congratulating Raz Elijah Gabal.
Thank you, Mr. Galucci. The Colonial Council Principals Award is presented to a senior boy whose actions reflect the highest standards of leadership, character, and school spirit. Chosen by the faculty and administration and awarded on behalf of the Colonial Council principals, this honor recognizes a student who consistently leads by example through integrity, service, and academic dedication. This year's recipient embodies all of these qualities and more. As our salutatorian and cum laude recipient, his leadership is thoughtful and inclusive, grounded in quiet confidence and a deep sense of responsibility to those around him. He is the kind of student who lifts others up, not for recognition, but because it's simply who he is. His presence has made our community stronger, his voice has brought clarity, and his example has inspired us all. We are proud to present the Colonial Council Principals Award to Charles Hsu. The Solomon Joknowitz Kahn Memorial Book Award was established in honor of Solomon, who was a graduating member of the class of 2006. Sadly, Solomon was diagnosed with an aggressive form of leukemia during his last semester of his high school senior year. Even though he was frail as he was going through chemo, his biggest ask was to graduate with the rest of his classmates in June of 2006, which he did proudly. Unfortunately, he lost his battle to this dreaded disease just a few short months later, prior to his 19th birthday. Saul is remembered for so many things, including his zest for life, community, school, and friends. These essential elements are embodied in this award. Solomon was a true example of what it means to be a graduate of the Albany Academy. At Albany Academy, he thrived as he pursued academic and athletic endeavors. He was the captain of his wrestling team. He was super excited to attend his #1 choice school, University of Rochester, in the fall. He had a high sense of integrity, trustworthiness, and was always an inclusive friend. Saul knew how to advocate for himself and others without coming across as rude or disrespectful. The Solomon Jochnowitz Kahn Award is given to an upperclassman whose first thought is for inclusiveness and for bettering the community. This person exemplifies characteristics like Solomon through his actions and deeds. This year's recipient embodies these values through his genuine kindness, deep empathy, and joyful presence. He is an unwavering advocate for justice and inclusion, always lifting others with both courage and compassion. Through his leadership in student council and dedication to the arts as both an actor and director, he brings people together. His ability to build true connections and inspires those around him mirrors the legacy Saul left behind. We are proud to present this year's Solomon Jochnowitz Kahn Memorial Book Award to Kevin Nolan Bunchel. At this time, I would like to ask Helen DeStefano, class of 2016, to come up to the stage to present the Jack Miles Deller class of 2016 Memorial Award.
The Jack Miles Deller Class of 2016 Memorial Award includes a book of the complete works of William Shakespeare and a $250 cash scholarship. It is given annually by Mark J. DeStefano, Class of 1980, Caroline Mayon DeStefano, Class of 1981, and Helene DeStefano, Class of 2016. It is awarded to a Form 6 student who has excelled in both the arts and academics, and who, by example, has demonstrated leadership qualities. Jack will always be remembered as living life to the fullest, loving with all of his heart, and being true to himself and others. He had a thirst for knowledge that was seemingly unquenchable. He was authentic, and he was kind and compassionate to everyone he met, because it was in his nature. This Shakespearean quote best illustrates Jack's spirit. "This above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow, as the night the day, thou canst not then be false to any man." This year's recipient embodies that spirit in every way. His unwavering kindness, boundless energy, and genuine enthusiasm for life shines through in all that he does. Whether captivating an audience on stage for the Shakespeare competition or in one of our plays, he leads with joy and humility. On the ice, in the net, he gives his heart and soul to the journey, not just the outcome. His warmth, humor, and joy inspire those around him, making our community brighter and stronger. This year's Jack Miles Deller Class of 2016 Memorial Award goes to Cameron Clark Murphy.
The Faculty Book Award in memory of Charles P. Stevens, Jr., class of 1976, is given to a senior, chosen by the faculty for his outstanding character and achievement while at the Academy. This student has had a major impact on the community over all facets of the Academy's education: academics, athletics, service, leadership, and citizenship. This year's recipient is a vibrant and positive force within our community. Whether leading on student council, playing with passion on the soccer field as a captain, or cheering the loudest from the sidelines, he brings unmatched energy, creativity, and heart to all he does. His leadership is rooted in connection and a genuine desire to see others succeed. Simply put, he makes those around him better through his presence and example. This year's Faculty Book Award in memory of Charles P. Stevens Jr., 76, goes to Johnner So. The Ronald J. Mann 69 Brown University Book Award, established by Miss Ronald Mann and the class of 1969, is granted to a Form 5 student who has excelled in academics and athletics and who has shown a strong sense of commitment to the academy and the community. This year's recipient is a true scholar athlete whose strength extends far beyond the field. A powerhouse in competition, he's even more formidable in the classroom. A cum laude inductee, his thoughtful wit, tireless work ethic, and intellectual curiosity shine. His teachers constantly praise his inquisitive mind, empathy, and thoughtful engagement. He leads as captain of both the lacrosse and football teams with quiet strength, integrity, and genuine care for those around him, embodying the values this award celebrates. This year's Ronald J. Mann 69 Brown University Book Award goes to Yogi Culver. The J. Cameron Brown Jr., 42, Community Service Award is given annually to an Academy student who exemplifies the ideals of the Academy through the performance of community service. This award was established in 1999 by Nancy Brown Peters and Terry Brown in honor of their father. This year's recipient is a true advocate for justice, a pragmatic and thoughtful leader who carefully considers the impact of every word and action. Whether demonstrating athletic prowess or leading with purpose, service has always been at the very heart of his work this year. He took on a major service project this year for cancer research, executing it with both beauty and precision. In doing so, he inspired and rallied our entire community, leaving a lasting mark of compassion and leadership. This year's J. Cameron Brown Jr. 69 Community Service Award goes to Edward Joseph Harris. The Exeter Prize, given by the Exeter School in Devon, England, goes to the student in the sixth form at the Albany Academy who stands out for virtues of friendliness and service to others. This year's recipient embodies these qualities with warmth and grace. You will never pass him without receiving a kind hello or a thoughtful goodbye, small gestures that speak volumes about his character. His genuine gift for conversation and his deep connection to classmates make him a friend to all. Whether delivering Spanish Honor Society announcements or quietly leading through his actions, he models leadership grounded in humility and a care for others. This year's Exeter Prize goes to Grant William Smith. The Helen M. DeStefano Memorial Award is presented each year to that member of the sixth form who has been a student for not less than 4 years, or could be less than 4 years, and who shall be judged by the sixth form to best exemplify the qualities of service, commitment, and spirit of an Academy student. This year's recipient has been an impact maker since the moment he first stepped onto campus. As president of the school, a cum laude inductee, and a captain of both the golf and baseball teams, he was consistently sought to make a meaningful difference. His leadership was instrumental in driving positive change this year, always approached with humility, grace, and style uniquely his own. He motivates, captivates, and brings together those around him to be better and do more. A remarkable connector and tireless doer, from leading the pep rallies to being a super fan, he inspires trust and action in those around him. He is, in every sense, an exceptional leader and the embodiment of the Academy spirit. This year's Helen M. DeStefano Memorial Award goes to Brody Jacob Staff. Last but not least, the Wendell Memorial Prize is awarded each year by the Albany Academy Alumni Association to that student who shall be judged by the faculty to have done most for the school and who, in the spirit of Theodore A. Wendell, class of 1924, best exemplifies the ideals of the Albany Academy. This year's recipient is a young man whose leadership and spirit leave a lasting mark on our community. As our valedictorian, a cum laude recipient, he inspires through his playful wit, his brilliant intellect, and his unwavering commitment to those around him. In addition to his academic prowess, he is an accomplished musician, led the Science Bowl and the announcements this year, Cadet Corps, and ran cross country. He approaches every endeavor with humor, humility, and a rare ability to see the big picture. His passion for excellence, paired with genuine care for others, makes him a true model of the Academy's ideals. This year's Wendell Memorial Prize goes to Kevin Lee. It is a tradition at the Albany Academy for the senior class and their parents to present a parting gift to the school in honor of the graduating class. I'm pleased to welcome our 2025 class president, Edward Harris, to the stage to present the senior class gift. This young man is a true advocate for justice, service, and meaningful change. From founding the Black Affinity Group to spearheading a major fundraising initiative for cancer research, he leads with purpose and conviction, believing that great leaders not only speak to important issues, but follow through with action. His tenacity on the athletic field is matched by his empathy and humility in the classroom, making him a role model in every sense. We have been fortunate to have his leadership and spirit within our community. Please welcome Eddie Harris.
The class of 2025 has established a class endowed fund as our senior gift. This fund will grow over time and eventually become a fully endowed scholarship, providing meaningful support to a future Academy student and their family. Through our collective contributions, this gift represents more than just financial aid. It reflects our shared values, our gratitude for the opportunities we've had, and our commitment to ensuring others can experience the same. The more we invest in this fund, the greater the impact it will have for the generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Eddie. It is my great honor, this year's valedictorian, a student whose journey through the Academy has been marked by brilliance, integrity, and an unwavering commitment to excellence. If you know Kevin Lee, you know he's a young man who always goes the extra mile, while leading our Science Bowl team and making brief yet poignant announcements, which I alluded to in my last read up on him, running with determination on the cross-country course, or commanding with quiet confidence as the Cadet Corps lead. A proud cum laude inductee, Kevin's academic accomplishments are exceptional. Recipient of the T. Romney Beck English Composition Award, the Van Rensselaer Classic Latin Prize, and the Science Department Award, to name just a few. A true scholar whose curiosity and passion for learning are boundless, Kevin also pursued authentic research at Stony Brook University during the summer before his senior year, further exemplifying his drive for knowledge and discovery. Beyond the classroom, Kevin is also a talented musician and a member of the Empire State Youth Orchestra, where he plays the trombone with the same dedication and precision he brings to all of his pursuits. Yet what makes Kevin's leadership truly remarkable is not only what he achieves, but how he inspires and lifts up those around him. Whether preparing for competition, leading drills, or offering encouragement to a teammate, Kevin shows us that leadership is not about standing apart. It is about bringing others along with purpose and compassion. It is with great pride that I welcome this year's valedictorian, Kevin Lee, to the lectern.
Really quick brief remark here. I'm going to try and make this as quick as possible because I understand that people want to get out of here and take pictures and then eat brownies in the buttery. So good morning, everyone. Distinguished guests, administration, teachers, parents, family, and friends, and the course, the class of 2025. I would like to thank my teachers, the college counselors, Mr. Bestel, Miss McDonald, and Miss Poole, and my wonderful parents for supporting me throughout my four-year high school journey. And to the class of 2025, thank you for being the best group of friends and peers I could have ever asked for. I am most honored to be talking here this morning. Even though I do not know what qualifies me to impart wisdom, I take my task very seriously today. So, when I was informed that I would be getting this award 3 weeks ago, I decided to prepare with the same vigor many of us would devote to an important final essay. So late last night, I began. I played some video games, scrolled for a few hours on Instagram, and then finally opened my browser. I think the Albany Academy website said it best when it said, quote, "Our graduates don't just attend the nation's finest colleges, they excel and go on to shape industries, lead innovations, and drive positive change worldwide." But I think that is a fine proposition. I actually really like it. Once we graduate high school, we are left to find what we love and change the world. So I want to leave you with a few lessons that may help us all change the world for the better. Let's rewind the clock right back to after the worst of the pandemic, to 9th grade declamations. That year, I made to the all-school finals to compete against all the other grades. I really wanted to succeed that year because I still had the belief that I was just decent at performing, from elementary and middle school musicals. I stepped up to the stage, got halfway through my speech, and then I stopped mid-sentence. I had totally forgotten my script. It was an embarrassing look, as I felt the stares of 200 pairs of eyes. After an uncomfortable and infinite silence, I finished my speech and shakily stepped down from the stage. I felt ashamed, and although many people came to me to say how it was okay to stop and stutter, it still stung. However, my failure was not the end of the road. With my worst fear realized, it was a liberating feeling to step out and explore what else I could do. In fact, if you play it right, failure can be a catalyst for profound reinvention. In that summer and sophomore fall, I experimented with art, economics, and psychology before I landed on biology after taking AP Bio with Mr. Estrie. I found great success there, especially as I came to my own in the science book club. If you want to change the world, don't be afraid to stutter while on the biggest stage. In my junior year, I entered Mr. Hopkins' Calculus BC class. Our favorite pastime was the game rail ball. If you don't know the game rail ball, is when you take a tennis ball and bounce it against the floor in front of the whiteboard so it can land on a long tray or rail that holds markers. I soon picked up the fact that each tile on the floor in front of the whiteboard had a different bounce on the tennis ball. Mr. Hofgesang, who, despite being a great teacher of wisdom, denied this fact and often liked to assert that he was right by competing with me or pelting me with his own tennis balls. Of course, he would poke me incessantly with his jokes about my incompetence, which are as dry as a desert. Despite his disapproval, I kept trying different spots and eventually found the tile that worked for me. If you want to change the world, keep finding the tile that you love, even if you're being pelted with tennis balls. In the beginning of this year, I ran on my last high school cross-country season ever. My first thoughts as a senior member of the team were how to impart my own positive influence on the younger members of the team. I remembered how in my first race of cross-country, when I was unfit and struggling to run for more than 2 or 3 minutes, Will Vartuli, a member of the class of 2023, ran the last stretch of this track after he had finished and pushed me to give it my all. I felt supported and accepted, even with my unremarkable fitness into a close-knit family. During this last season, I did my best to create an atmosphere of camaraderie. I was the one who was encouraging to my younger teammates at the end of races or running with them in races.
Through this, I have lasting and meaningful friendships with those younger in the AA community. In 9th grade, Wilvar truly gave me the hope to finish my races. In senior year, I did the same to pass on a spirit of hope and support. If you want to change the world, stay until the end of your meets and cheer people on. The future waits for us all. Yet, it is important to leave behind our mark wherever we are, to make this dynamic world a much better place to live in. The only things to say now are, congratulations to the Albany Academy class of 2025, and thank you to those that got us here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kevin. And now we will present the diplomas to the class of 2025. We, the trustees and faculty of the Albany Academy, will now grant diplomas to the class of 2025. In testimony, they have completed the course of instruction prescribed by the status of this institution, and also that during their academic course, their conduct and diligence have been such as to merit our approbation. I'd like to welcome Mr. Bestel to read the names.
Arnav Akula. Omar Bassam Al-Shanif. Eric Michael Backlund. Connor Joseph Battle. Aiden Michael Burke. Patrick James Carroll. Andrew Kenyon Casalini. Yogi Jana Culver, cum laude. Benjamin Kenton Dalto. Presenting his diploma is his mother, faculty member, Ms. Jennifer Dalto. James Clark Davis. Quentin Michael Del Signor. Evan James Derek Leifer. Noah Eslick. Raz Elijah Godbolt. Eduardo Gorospe Valenzuela, cum laude. Scott Thomas Hansen, Jr. Edward Joseph Harris, IV. Theodore James Hereward Howarth. Miles Heafy, cum laude. Kevin Nolan Hohenschel. Jaw Lassie. Charles Cameron Hunter. Abdur Rahim Adatola Islam Lifer. Damon Tyler Jones, postgraduate. Lucas Allen Jones, lifer. Alexander Kachani. Jackson Aaron Kemp. D. William Kimbler. Kevin Lee, valedictorian, cum laude. Samuel Antonio Lopes, postgraduate. Jamar Markel Nasir Macon. Lucio Migueli Maruca. James Casey McDonald. Liam John McGrath. Finn Michael Mullaney. Aiden Michael Murphy. Cameron Clark Murphy. John Michael Naparalski. Owen Binney O'Brien, presenting his diploma, is his aunt, board member, Miss Karen O'Brien. Olufemi Michael Ogundija. Casper Cole Ostavar. Shanato Danilo Phillips. Leo Roman Polsinelli. Elijah Jalil Powell. Gavin John Rathwell, cum laude. Nakash Vijnes Ravi, cum laude. Owen Michael Roberts. Grant William Smith, presenting his diploma, is his stepmother, board member, Miss Alyssa Smith. Johnner So. Holden Andrew Spock. Brody Jacob Staff, cum laude. Silas Oscar Stanek Streed, postgraduate. Emmett Supi Sermelli, cum laude. Eamon Arnfin Taylor, presenting his diploma, is his mother, faculty member Miss Emer Taylor. Quinn Robert Thompson, postgraduate. Juan Tien. Kai Cranston Vos. Aaron Samuel Brzezinski, cum laude. Charles Alexander Shu, salutatorian, cum laude. Hua Shuen Yang. Boyu Zhang. Runsho Zhang. Xin Zhang. Joseph Nicholas Zimmerman.
I invite the class of 2025 to please rise. By virtue of the authority of the Board of Trustees and the head of school of the Albany Academy, and by vote of your faculty, we confer upon you your diploma or certificate of completion with all the rights, responsibilities, and privileges appertaining thereto, and welcome you to the community of learned Academy men. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Albany Academy class of 2025. ceremony, please take advantage of the family photo opportunity that will take place in front of this stage. Our reception will be in the buttery. Luckily, the rain has gone away, so this is wonderful. So now we are going to sing the Old Academy song, and then we will begin our recessional.